Hebrews chapter 10, section 1, more on the conscience. Continuing with Hebrews, we come to chapter 10. We are still talking about how our conscience is being dealt with. That's really the subject here. When Hebrews talks about perfection, it's talking about the conscience. I'm seeing that more clearly now than ever before. Hebrews 10:11, for the law having a good shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never, with those sacrifices which they are offered year by year, continually make the comers thereunto perfect. For then would they have not ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers once purged should have no more conscience of sins? Here that word purge shows up again. If you remember in chapter 9, we saw in verse 14 that it says, the blood of Christ, who offered himself through the eternal Spirit, shall purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. We can see that the author is talking about being purged from dead works, which were represented and typified by all the washings and everything that the priests went through in the outer tabernacle or the holy place. As long as the tabernacle stood and all those activities were going on, it was a reminder that the way into the holiest of all, directly into the presence of God, had not yet been made manifest. So the dead works are contrasted with serving the living God. Hebrews 9:14, how much more shall the blood of Christ purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? Where is the living God? He is the presence within the veil, and the dead works are outside, on the other side of the veil, in that holy place. This would also refer to the activities in the outer court, which included the bronze altar with the sacrifices and the laver with the washings. All of these things are called carnal ordinances imposed until the time of Reformation. The activities maintaining that system were a very visible sign to all the world that there needed to be a reformation. Everyone knew that system was bondage. Very few people wanted to join the Israelites and maintain that system with them. And they couldn't anyway because one had to be a Levite to do so. It was not an attractive service. Solomon's temple and Herod's temple were glorious and attractive, but the service itself was not. All of this was a picture of the frustrating problem of the conscience and being continually reminded of sin. They were continually having to deal with it, and yet they never were brought into the presence of God. That is a picture of mankind's struggle in religion. In the case of the law, it was God-imposed. But for most of us, our struggle is in self-imposed religion. These services illustrated what we all go through in Adam, trying to satisfy our conscience through dead works, versus being brought into the holiest of all and dealing directly with the living God, serving and enjoying Him.